Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, whatever time zone you guys are in. Welcome back to the stream. I'm your host, Kommissar Azura. Welcome back to Wardames Radio. So yes, as usual, I'm your host, Kommissar Azura. My co-host, Mari Denganger.
Hello.
Our other co-host, Renvalia.
The funny Breaking Bad filter is outside. Send help.
Yes, and our special guest for today, Remleiz from 40K Theories.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yes, absolutely. It's my pleasure. So, for people who aren't initiated in the 40K theory, can you explain who you are?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'll try at least. But yes, my name's Remleiz. I run a channel called 40K Theories where we do a whole bunch of Warhammer 40,000 themed videos, mainly theory stuff, but we also do videos for newcomers, podcasts, homebrew videos, and stuff like that.
Mhm. So, I see that you have like a very interesting inquisitor or a tech priest. Can like explain about your avatar? Because I know like a lot of
Yes.
people.
Formerly an inquisitor, formerly a tech priest, now an inquisitor. And before anyone does complain in the comments, yes, there is actually an in-universe precedent for that with Cyric Scale, because he was a tech priest who became a member of the Order Hereticus. So there is a precedent for that. But yes, I actually have a homebrew video on my sorry, that big bang. I think I just accidentally hit my boom mic arm. But yeah, I actually have a video detailing this the origins of that, so feel free to check it out if you can.
Yeah. And anyway, so why does Dino Skull?
Funny enough, I was actually inspired to do that. Bloody hell, I've forgotten his name. I was actually inspired by a Horus Heresy character, Archmagos Drekivak, because he actually has a Forge World model. It's a tech priest from the Dark Mechanicum who has a horse skull, and I was inspired to do that. But dinosaurs are cooler than horses, so we'll just go that way.
I am going to argue about that part, but yes. I'm going to argue that horses are better, but that's just my preference.
Where is the?
I'm on Team Dinosaur here.
I have an image of the actual guy. There you go. You can show that in your live stream. But yeah, that's it. Who inspired my look essentially.
And he's a character for the Dark Mechanicus, you're saying?
Yeah, Horus Heresy. Yeah.
Yep.
The Archmagos model.
Yeah, the one on his
big throne.
giant podium with the tentacles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got that really fancy looking omniscient axe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the claw.
Uh,
80 pounds. Yes.
so Remleiz, how does it feel to be the actual first 40K VTuber?
I didn't realize I was one.
You're basically one, I would say. Like you're essentially a PNG tuber, I think.
The
I wouldn't go that far. I'm pretty sure there's some other YouTubers out there who've done like stuff before me, but
I mean, but
I
like,
think technically Alpha Buster's beat me to the punch in that regard anyway with his as a custodian, but
true in a
true,
sense.
but Alpha Busa is like more of a
Anime.
storytelling, like anime. While you're just just your character explaining things.
Like a documentarist.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's closer to the the modern idea of VTuber in that regard. I think.
Fair enough. I'll be honest, I know absolutely nothing in regards to VTubing. I see everyone's doing it. Like, I see Takahata doing it, I see Zoran doing it, I see you guys doing it, and I'm just like, I have no idea what's going on. I'm just old.
Funny anime goper is what's going on.
And
I'm
yes.
just sitting here going, how do you do, fellow kids? You know, with my skateboard and backwards cap, you know.
Just Photoshop on the dino skull.
I'm sure someone's done that somewhere. I mean, there's been people who've photoshopped like dino skulls onto other memes, like a version of me, like a version of like, you know, where is such and such? Where is this? And where is this? It's in here, but like with my dino skull face, and it's actually talking about Malal or Malice, you know, the fifth Chaos God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
But honestly, I don't think it's gonna be like that difficult to make your characters as a live 2D. I think.
Well, yeah, because there's no mouth movement that needs to be done.
Yeah, it's just like the eye, like we can like make the okay.
Well,
I bum
well,
my
you say that.
boom mic.
You said there is actual jaw movement from one of the few animations I have actually appeared in.
Oh yeah,
there is
that
actually
one
some
is
jaw
fine.
movement.
Oh yeah, that one is doable. Very much doable.
Just up and down move jaw.
Yeah,
That's nice and easy. So
I think if like let me do some rough calculation, but I think like in total I can like get you an avatar for like 320, like same as Velvy. Same as Rosa. So yes. but I don't know if your computer can like handle it, because
it probably can't. My computer can barely handle running Dawn of War.
Oh my god.
Yep.
no joke, right? I was playing Dawn of War 2 just to get some like background footage one day, and I think it was Chaos Rising. You know that M fight when you're fighting Ulkia, you know, the great and clean one.
Yeah.
My computer was chugging it to 1 frame per second.
What?
What the fuck? Okay, how old is your computer? Jesus.
Quite old. It is a potato.
I mean, at that point, it's not just potato. Holy crap.
Can it run the best on it? Can it run the best Dawn of War? Can it run Dark Crusade?
Yes, it can.
Good. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Albeit just. As long as you turn the graphical settings down, but... I don't play Necrons. I play Night Lords.
Oh.
Yeah. But I have to ask though. Do you still use a Windows Movie Maker to edit things? Yep. All right. Yeah. Okay. Oh. So you didn't change from the first time we met, like all those years ago.
Windows Movie Maker.
Still use Windows Movie Maker. Still use Audacity for the audio.
Yeah, I still use Audacity. It's like lightweight enough.
If it works, it works. You know, yeah. I don't feel the need to.
True.
I don't feel the need to like just dump a whole bunch of needless, you know, gubbins into my video. Like it's the current format is now, you know, it works. It doesn't need anything overly fancy. Like if I was doing like animations or something, I probably would actually need a better software and a better rig. But for what I do, I don't really need anything else at the moment currently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why reinvent the wheel kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, one could say that, but holy shit.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But holy shit, Dorem, like it's
I still play my old Sega
Terra.
Saturn, so like
Sega Saturn.
Yeah, my fun fact, my Sega Saturn, which I got in like early 1995, that's the only one of my old vintage consoles that still works perfectly, no issue whatsoever. Because like my original Xbox, like the disc tray in that is like it's naffed. Like my Dreamcast, the disc tray on that's naffed. The PS2, the disc tray is naffed. The GameCube, it's intermittently, you know, stubbornly works sometimes. Sometimes it just doesn't. The Mega Drive is kaput, but that was from like 1989. So it's like, you know, you can't expect it to work from 1989 up until 2023. That would be pushing it.
Hey, you never know.
But the Saturn works perfectly fine. The only thing I had to do was change the battery on the motherboard. That was it. And it's just a watch back. You just pop out, put a new one in, bam, you're done.
God, I miss the days where you could just do that.
It's some days where games were finished when they were released, but hey.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'm sure you heard that stupidity with it. Was it like Tony Hawk 5 or whatever it was? Like literally, the game wasn't even on the disc. Like they put the game in for the first time, you download like a 40 gig patch, and that patch was the actual game.
You know, I feel like that sometimes, even after 6 months of Darktide being out. But hey.
That reminds me. Did they ever patch Deathwing? Because I got to a point in Deathwing where you died, but the point where you load, as the game's loading, the game gets about 80% loaded, and then you're dead. Like it kills you before the game even finishes loading.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think they fixed it.
Because I'm actually soft locked in that game. I can't get past it because literally, as soon as I try to load the game, it gets to 80% loaded, and it comes up with a "you are dead" thing. I get killed by the Broodlord before I can even finish loading the fucking level. I was like, soft locked.
Yeah. I mean, sounds like from one game, all right. The same people that made Define I Superman C.
I think I actually have a video of that clip. I'll grab it for you 1 second.
I think I saw it like years ago. I'm sure.
The patches and Darktide still won't launch for me.
Yeah.
I mean, Mari, your rig is like reaching potato.
Hey, it's not a. Hey.
Oh no, it's not because it's potato. It's because you are using AMD.
Yeah, and they don't like AMD for some reason.
Which is basically a potato.
No, it's not. I'm sorry. Excuse you. I can run Total War on this just fine.
Yeah, I can't.
Definitely not a potato.
I can't run Total War at all. Not even on the lowest graphic because it just will not run. It like chugs along at like 3 or 4 frames per second. It's
well, yeah, Ram. You barely able to run Dawn of War 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game is like basically ancient at this point, like 10 years, 12 years.
Funny enough, it can run Space Marine just fine. It can run Space Marine fine, but it struggles with Dawn of War 2.
Well, that's what happens when a game was made for Windows Live.
I forgot that was a thing, yeah.
Takes mods to fix Dawn of War 2, to be honest. But on another note, congrats on the return of Quizcastus.
Thank you.
Yeah,
as I said in that episode, there was one game I unabashedly stole from Quizzlemania because it was just that good a game. I was like, I'm nicking, that's a good idea. And I admitted it in the show as well, so the whole price of shite game.
Yeah.
Because I saw some things on eBay, I was like, oh yeah, I got to turn this into a game. Like, that copy of the Dante novel that was like, £1,174 or something.
Yeah.
If only it was an If only if it
or
was
the coffee mug,
week.
that was like $50 or 50 quid rather.
If only if it was another week until it, because then you could have thrown in Leviathan prices on eBay.
It's what kind of like €700 or something now.
Yep.
But yeah, talking about Leviathan, did you manage to get Leviathan, or are you getting Leviathan? Oh, you did.
I managed to I secured my copy. I couldn't get the limited edition novel though because that's sold out before I got my place in the queue. So I had to settle the standard edition. But yes, I did get a copy of Leviathan in either case.
Mm-hmm.
How much was the limited edition novel through GW?
£45.
Wow. eBay's made that a moot point now. It is up there for €233 on eBay.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I mean, even that.
Because I remember the last time. Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
That €700 price for the box, like comparatively speaking, isn't like the most egregious thing I saw. Someone wanted the full 200 for just the Space Marine half.
I
Oh,
hate
look,
I hate people. I hate scalpers.
someone here
I think we
trying to
all hate
sell.
scalpers.
Someone tried to sell just the Space Marine half, but as a painted commission for 440. I'm like, that better be Siege Studio levels of commission painting for that price.
In fairness, if it's like Siege Studio levels or like Flareon Miniatures levels for that price, if it's that quality, that's actually a pretty good deal, all things
Yeah.
considered.
Yeah.
If it is that quality.
But you won't know on eBay though, because
Yeah.
it's kind of
Unless it was Siege Studios themselves selling it.
No.
no, it's a place called Merchants of War. I've never heard of them. But wait, so they want 440 for the Space Marine half painted, and they want 600 for the Tyranid side.
But why
600.
though?
Yeah, for the Tyranid side.
Why are people like this?
The
don't know.
scalpers?
The scalpers.
Yeah, I have no idea either, honestly. Like, scalper are just the worst.
The reason scalpers like it is because of money.
Yeah, true.
Artificial scarcity. I mean, GW don't help, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
True, but apparently they put more out for this time round, so hopefully they'll just screw the scalpers over. It's like, hey, you can still get it cheap off Games Watch's website or something. Because I hear like some third-party stores are like rolling out their stock in waves.
Yeah.
I know. Like Alchemist Workshop just put their second wave up for sale now.
And if y'all wanna get the box, you can go to go to here.
Go to Squid.
Go to Squids.
If you're in the States. If you're
in the States, preferably.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. You guys can get it from Europe.
On import charges, but...
I mean, you guys will be helping me in terms of like getting some commission.
Should really talk to Squid about that. Because I had a discussion with Squid about doing something like that myself at some point, right? And kind of doing something like, you know, like Hal had, you know, with the kind of paint along model thing.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wanted to do that, but like I'm wondering if I should push on that.
I mean, no, there is no problem with like asking, probably.
Yeah, I might ask actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what else we have. We could talk. How long were you in the queue, Remleiz?
About an hour and 15 minutes.
Not as bad as I've been hearing from some people, at least.
I think it's not long because all I remember is just said like your waiting time is just over an hour.
I mean, I know people that had the queue open since last night when it went up early.
God.
Oof! Oh, good lord! People are like, okay. I mean, fair enough. It's a new edition, but yeah.
I mean, like they're going to be making more probably.
I mean, yeah, I can imagine them doing the same thing they did with Indomitus because we had the same issue then, didn't we? And then they rolled out made to order like about 2 months later or something. Wasn't it?
Yeah, they had the resort to do made to order.
Yeah, it was like a month later. Yeah.
But I think it will be. I think at the moment, like this time around, is actually better than what we had in Indomitus. Because I'm not like seeing any people like having, like not being able to order Leviathan. At least like not in drove. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, there's maybe been a few here and there, but it's mostly been through like third parties, like and their websites crashing.
Yeah, it's
But
mostly just third party.
On the larger scale, like it seems to be, it's going a lot smoother than Indominus did.
Yeah, because I think Squid told me that basically the stores are only getting like limited amount.
I know one store around here only got like they were told they were only getting 100 boxes and that's it.
$100? Okay. My local store only got 3. Okay, and that supplies
Also,
like
yeah, but you're
half
also
of
in
Indonesia.
I also heard, I don't know if this is true, but I've also heard stories like some stores were promised a certain amount of stock, but only get like they only end up receiving like about a third of what they asked for or what they were promised.
Yep.
Not the first time that's happened.
Yeah, I've heard there's some quote unquote distribution issues from their new warehouse or something.
Yeah,
quote unquote.
You know when they were bringing out the boarding patrols for Arcs of Omen, and they did the Agents of the Imperium one.
Yes,
I pre-ordered that. Like I got in with my local literally on that Sunday preview before it went up for pre-order and told them, right, put my name in, right? The launch day comes and they're telling me, oh, by the way, GW only sent us like a fraction of our weekly order that had that in it, so you're gonna have to wait longer. I was like, but this is a regular weekly order and they've only sent like maybe a third or maybe even a fifth of what they normally get in. It was insane.
Yeah, it was really insane, honestly.
Because going back to the warehouse issue stuff, I was like, you know when Lionel Johnson dropped along with his new limited edition model and his model and all that.
Yeah.
I managed to get an order through for his limited edition copy of his novel, and normally when you pre-order games for Workshop, like you wait about a week and then you get like your email saying your item's been dispatched. But it had been like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. Like I've not had this email back, and I'm thinking, oh god, have I just been charged and not bothered sending me this stuff? What's happening? Kind of thing. I was actually absolutely bricking it.
Oh no.
Because I don't know if you remember trying to pre-order on that day, but like the site kept crashing so much. Like literally, like as soon as it got to like 9:55 a.m., bam, site crashed.
Oof. Yeah.
It was the same when End and the Death Part 1 dropped. Limited edition for that dropped, and the site crashed. Literally, as soon as it got to like 9:55, bam, crashed, and it was down for like over an hour. And by the time the site came back up, it sold out. And I'm just thinking, how the hell does it sell out when the site's down?
Nobody knows. And somehow like scalpers are like promising like 500 quids for the box or something.
I still remember when the GW site crashed like twice during the Age of Darkness pre-orders. That was insane.
Sorry for that.
Sorry,
I apologize if I had to mute myself constantly. Coughing fits are a bitch. But anyway.
That's good.
Oh, it's all good.
But yeah, no, like those just during Age of Darkness was wild though. Like 2 crashes within like 10 minutes.
AOD is the Horus Heresy one, right? Or am I like thinking of okay?
Yeah, AOD was the Heresy 2.0 launch box.
All right, yeah. Oh. I this is like how much like the entire line of Horus Heresy matters for me because like I actually forgot about it.
I tell you what, it could be worse because do you guys remember when the Black Library website used to sell physical books? Which I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wait, they no longer sell
when
that?
They only sell digital books now. They don't sell anything physical on their website now. If you want a physical book, you have to go through Games Workshop. But back when Black Library used to sell physical books, when the Siege of Terror novels dropped, like the very first one, Solar War, that site was so grossly set up for. It was so inappropriate or like mismanaged in terms of like the amount of traffic it was going to get. The site crashed and it didn't come back on for like a good like couple of hours. Because I placed my order for the special edition, and it got to like the place order, place the order, and it just kicked you back to the home page. So you think they didn't go through. You go through, place order, kick you back. I got through in the end, got a confirmation email, and then it turns out I've been charged about 6 times.
Oh no. My god. Oh.
And I was like, now bear in mind, each book, these limited edition books cost about £50 each.
Yeah.
Oh, no. £50 times 6.
Oof.
So I mean, and Games Workshop's customer service lines are closed on weekends.
Oh god.
So I literally had to phone them up. Literally first thing on Monday morning, it's like, hi, I got accidentally charged like 6 times. Can you take 5 of the charges off, please?
Yep.
And in fairness to the customer service, they said, yeah, we'll take that. We'll reverse those charges. Sure. I said, thank you.
Thankfully, they complied, but oof.
Yeah.
By email or by phone?
I mean, now in fairness,
oh god, if I have like, if I order by email, like, will they like manage to get it through correctly or something? Good lord.
Their customer service are always kind of, like, really, on the ball.
Yeah, that's the one thing I can't fault. Of all the stupid things Games Workshop have done over the years, their customer service is one thing I can't ever fault because I've always had really genuinely good experiences with them. Because like there's been instances like I ordered a model and like there was a piece that had been broken off the sprue, and I let them know it's like I was missing this, or like I got like a box. I was like I was missing a base, and it just sends you like an entirely new box. And there was a thing like when the Horus Heresy print on demand books, when they started re-releasing them in hardback on print on demand.
Yeah.
My copy of Horus Rising had been damaged, but they couldn't send any more new copies. They didn't have any left. So they just refunded my entire order. So basically, I got the first 5 Horus Heresy books for free.
Damn.
So it's like, you know what? I can't fault their customer service. I've always had a really good experience with them. And if you're going to like say like, well, we can't replace it if it's damaged, so we just refund your entire order. You keep the entire thing for free. Thanks.
Yeah, it was like I remember that because like when I got caught up in the whole orc thing when I think again it was during it was one of the Christmas battle forces, when they did the Bugmanson AOS model.
Oh right, yeah. When you got the model,
I got
the unreleased model.
The orc by mistake inside the Bugman box, and it was just like I remember getting on the customer service, and they were like almost kind of in disbelief, and we actually ended up having a good laugh. And I was like, "What? Send us a picture of the sprue, would you?" And he goes, "Oh God, yes." Sorry.
Was that the orc that hadn't meant to be released yet?
Yes.
Yeah, it was the one that was brought out on Stevens's Day instead.
Oh God.
That's because of Mari.
Yeah, I got it by mistake.
Well, Mari is the Dante receiver before Dante receiver.
Were you the one who also received the wrong Dante?
Yeah.
No,
not Mari, but another person.
No.
Yeah.
I only
but same situation.
Okay.
But same situation.
And then boom, a week later, oh yeah, no, my fucking picture and my tweet got stolen.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
I think you got stolen by Spiky Bits.
Spiky Bits.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
It's the cost of doing business in the industry, I suppose.
I think Mari, that means you actually made it as a Warhammer personality.
I very much remember when that tweet went up, and then Valrak saw it, and Valrak the crap himself with laughter on stream.
Yeah.
I had to pop into a stream and just go, "Cough, that's my orc." Look on his face. But no, the customer service though in the end of it were like top class about it. They just sent me out a new Bugmanson.
It's good at least.
Yeah, thankfully GW is not Wizard of the Coast.
No,
thankfully
they won't send people that shouldn't be actually working in that line of industry.
Yeah,
bust down my door looking for a mini. Actually, I think one of the first thoughts that came across my mind before I got on the customer service is, if I post this, are they going to send Nick Baton around to break my legs?
No, they will just like send a flag and dance.
No. They said James Workshop to me.
Whenever I see someone say the Pinkertons, my mind always defaults to Carl Pilkington.
Oh
From the
god!
Ricky Gervais show, yeah. So they
He
just send
just
him
comes to
round.
your door and moans at you. It's like,
You should really give that back.
Okay, who is that?
oh, he's a comedian from England.
Have you ever seen the Ricky Gervais show?
Who?
Ricky Gervais.
Oh, Ricky Gervais. Yes, no, not really.
Because Carl Pilkington's on that show with Ricky Gervais, along with the guy who played was it Wheatley in Portal 2? Yeah.
Yeah, Stephen Merchant.
That's it. Yeah, I forgot his name. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't really follow.
Yeah, but no, like Carl is mostly known for just being an absolute moan.
Yeah, he just moans about everything.
I mean, he had a show literally called The Moaning of Life.
Yeah, he also had a show called An Idiot Abroad as well.
That was funny though.
Yeah. They just send to different countries and he just complains.
Just like the British, would do.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, it's
Yeah.
all a bit tall, isn't it?
It's a bit hot, isn't it? A bit wet, isn't it? A bit rainy, a bit cloudy.
Oh, but no.
Pardon me.
All right.
One thing I've always been curious about, though, when it comes to your stuff with like 40k theories and all that, what motivated you into doing it as like a YouTube channel?
I very much initially like started doing it like as a side hobby kind of thing because I was mainly bored more than anything else. But the reason why I started doing it full time was because I ended up like suffering like a really bad injury to my spine.
Oof.
Yeah, a spinal injury that was misdiagnosed for close to 2 years.
Jesus.
Yeah, because I couldn't like because my previous job I was working in a warehouse. I injured my back. The doctors initially diagnosed it as sciatica. Just a point of reference, sciatica does not last for almost 2 years.
Yeah, that's like a relatively short-term thing, isn't it?
It's like a couple of weeks at most, yeah. And because I couldn't really do anything, I couldn't go out to work, I thought I might as well just try and focus this full time, see if it goes anywhere, and luckily it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though it sucks, I still got to deal with these spinal issues every day, though. It sucks. I mean, it's nowhere near as bad as what it was, because like when it was really bad, I literally could not walk. I literally could not stand up when it was at its worst.
Ouch.
In fact, I actually have a picture of my MRI. Hang on, I'll see if I can add it where. Because the doctor I saw, after it had been like close to 2 years, and I was like, my back still hurts. Can you do something? And my doctor was like, "What do you expect me to do about it?" To which I said, "Bear in mind, I was in an intense amount of pain because like literally just standing up was painful." To which I pretty much lost my temper. I said, "I expect you to do your fucking job."
I mean, understandable.
Yeah. But notice you can see where like it's out of alignment near the bottom.
Oh, Jesus.
About further way up from the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. The same doctor, he took a look at that, and when I phoned up for my results from my MRI scan, and I said, "Okay, so what's the result?" And he said, "Oh, it's just wear and tear." And it's like, at my age, my spine should not be going from just wear and tear. I want a second opinion. No,
Holy shit.
The doctor who gave my second opinion, thankfully, she turned around and said, "Right, have you been referred to physiotherapy?" "No." "Well, have you at least been prescribed stronger painkillers?" "No." okay, we're going to do that for you, like first thing. Then we're going to refer to physio. But the thing is, where I was living at the time, the physiotherapy was an absolute joke. Because literally, I went to the place, like it was at the doctor's surgery, the GP, and they literally said, right, bend forward as far as you can, try and touch toes, lean back, lean to the left, lean to the right. See you next month.
Jesus,
that was literally, and I was like, that was
woeful.
That is woeful. And like sometime later, like about a few months later, I ended up moving back down south because that was when I was living around the Midlands at the time. I moved down to the south of England, and before I could get a new prescription for my painkillers, I had to go to the doctor's, register at the new GP, and had to get see the GP before they could actually give me the prescription. And the doctor, thankfully, who I saw was a back specialist, and they took a look at my MRI, and I'm paraphrasing when I say this, but they said, "Yeah, your back's fucked." I'm paraphrasing. They said it in more scientific terms than that.
Me.
But yeah, I was ultimately diagnosed with 3 fucked discs and abnormal bone growth in my coccyx.
Ooh.
Oof.
And I had to be literally had to go to physiotherapy. They literally put me for the next day. Right, you're coming in tomorrow for your physio, and my physio is like every week. And the very first time I went to the physio, when you go to the GP's or there's little bed thing you lie down covered in that plastic, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to lay down there, and they had to basically the musculature in my lower back had knotted so much that they needed to physically grind their knuckles and try to unknot it.
Oof.
And I was in so much pain that I literally tore the plastic. Ripped holes in the plastic. I was digging my nails in so hard. And I'm not going to lie here, it hurt so much. I was in tears because it was the most one of the most excruciating things I'd ever been through. It was unreal. But I had to do that every week, and then after a couple of months, I had to stop going to physio because they said because we had to unknot the musculature in your back. That's actually caused some damage to your muscle tissue, so we need to keep some time off so your musculature can actually heal up before we can actually do it again.
Alright, I'll be right back. I need to pee. Just go talking.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the story of how I fucked my back.
Jesus, that's painful.
Yeah.
So at least you actually got a doctor to fucking sort you out.
The thing is, though, in regards to the abnormal bone growth in the coccyx, I was initially told that would need shaving down, the bone need to be shaved. But when I spoke to a doctor recently about it, they said, "Yeah, we can't actually do that because your coccyx is so the coccyx is such a brittle bone that if you try to shave it, it'll basically just disintegrate. It'll just crumble. So we can't actually do it." So the choices are either you ignore it and hope it doesn't cause you problems later on, or we remove the coccyx, which we'd rather not do if we can avoid it.
Good Lord. That is absolutely excruciating. Also, I think Kami hit Indonet, so the stream is kind of buffering. Oh no.
Oh god. But yeah, so that's how my back is.
Good.
But on the plus side, I can actually stand up for more than 10 minutes without falling over. I can actually get out of bed in the morning without someone pulling me out of the bed.
Yeah.
Because when it was really bad, I literally could not get out of a chair. It was that bad. I literally couldn't. My body could not actually hope. It was that bad in its worst days.
Jeez, that's
yeah. I think the reason why it was so bad is probably because it was misdiagnosed for almost 2 years. Misdiagnosed.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they just thought it was sciatica, which for those who may not be aware is just basically a trapped nerve. And again, a trapped nerve does not last 18 months to 2 years. It does not last that long. It's a couple of weeks at most.
Yeah.
So needless to say, the original doctors in the Midlands who I saw were fucking useless.
Yeah. I have
Sounds
very
like a
similar,
typical Midlands
I have
thing.
a somewhat similar story because, like, for the longest time, I've felt absolutely horrible and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, back when I was with my old doctor, he just put me on antidepressants without even doing any tests or nothing.
God.
Right, so I was on them for 5 years, and it wasn't really doing much, right? So I
Yeah.
started with a new doctor. They
Mm-hmm.
done full works on me, blood pressure, bloods, everything. I found out, actually, a lot of the way you're feeling physically is actually down to your dangerously high blood pressure.
Oh God.
I've apparently had high blood pressure the whole time. Because at resting, it was at 160.
Ooh, wow, that is
160?
high. Jesus.
Yeah.
Mari, have you considered like eating a lot of cucumber?
Actually, speaking of it, I've been on this new medication now, thanks to the new doctor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's now gone down to 127.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's actually gone down to normal now, thanks to the medication.
Yeah, but unfortunately, you can't stop. Like you cannot stop like taking it though. You have to keep taking it.
Oh, I know. I have to take it for the rest of my life, essentially. Yep. But I mean, at least we know what caused it.
Yeah. Like hypertension does that.
Oh yeah, it runs in the family, so.
Ah. But yeah, holy crap though.
160 resting.
Yeah. and I think I think like a lot of people have, I think I've talked this before, but I do feel like I would say I have a limb on my right foot because I was getting run over by a car. When I got off base, when I was like, I'm trying to like go to play D&D with my friends, and like when I was getting dinner, I got run over by a car.
Jesus.
Thankfully I didn't get isekai, but basically I mean my leg is still there. Like I was wearing my, I was still wearing my boots, my army boots, because it's like I just got off base. I'm too lazy to change my boots. Yeah. And thankfully, because of that, like it fractured, but wasn't like properly broken. Like it wasn't like jutting out or something. So I was like wearing it for like the whole night, and it basically like it.
That boot saved your foot's life.
Yeah, I can still run for a bit, but not like properly run. I can run for like I will say like 200 meters. After that, I will be like in a lot of pain.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and my family didn't like even take me to like a proper doctor.
Oh God.
No, they took me to what do you call like the Chinese doctor. I was like a Chinese masseuse. A Chinese masseuse. Right. Yeah. Like those acupuncture guy. Yeah, like acupuncture guy. Yeah, acupuncturist. And the sensei was like, yeah, like I will rub this remedy onto your foot. Like don't remove it for like 2 weeks. I'm like, oh fuck. and my family, because I was like getting so I asked my CEO like yeah, Commander, I got run over by a car. I need like take like 2 weeks break. I would like 2 weeks of administrative duty. And he did grant me that, thankfully. But unfortunately, that also unfortunately, my family didn't believe in something called crutch or what do you call or those
a crutch.
Yeah, my family doesn't believe in crutch.
So you had to like limp around essentially.
I had to hop around. Yes.
Oh my god.
When I was like asking my my father like, can I get a crutch at least? He said no. So when I was like, I had to like I think they allowed me to like carry a stick. So I was like not like a proper crutch, but those
I'm just squinting my eyes at this revelation.
and boys, like... boys or Girl Scout stick, like the like quarter staff. So I was like using quarter staff to like help me walk around.
You became fucking Chiraf and fucking Rogue One.
You know what? Yeah, that is the closest thing. But mine was like painted white. Because I had like
call me walking around talking about the Force.
But yeah, thankfully, but yeah, that was like a month before we got like our SFAB. Like I think what the American call SFAB in their military, basically like before we get our assignments.
Right.
Yeah. So due to that, I was like put into I was like, you're going to like intelligence school because your leg is bust. Your leg is busted. Yeah, I'm not going into the field anymore. Because I'm basically useless. And they do like trust me better if like I'm doing like behind the desk stuff, even though I really hate it. But I'm like actually good at like doing intelligence and operation. So yeah. Here's the day floor with Komi. But yeah, to say I still cannot run. I can like run for like 200 to 50 meters before I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna walk. Thankfully, I can still walk for like 2 to 3 miles easily, and stand for work. I think I'm like getting used to like the pain. So yeah. Anyway, it's been like almost an hour, so let's start some Q&A perhaps.
Sure.
Yeah. It's really all right. So I got some question from Boris. He got two questions. What could the possible outcome should Leviathan reach Terra in this current timeline now that Gilliman and Lion is back?
From what I recall, I may be wrong, I may be misremembering, but from what I recall, Lion is currently stuck in Nihilus, where Gilliman is in Sanctus. And it's going to be harder to get over from Nihilus to Sanctus because of the Secret Benedictum. But in regards to what would happen if Leviathan invaded Terra, I actually have an entire video on that. So go check that out. That's my lazy response, but hey.
So technically, haven't they already been slowly prepping that? Like with that, wasn't there a novel with like the Custodes dealing with like a gene stealer cult on Terra?
Yeah, that was first detailed in like the 8th edition Custodes Codex, I think it was. But then there was actually an actual boxed game detailing that with a different gene stealer cult called Shadow Throne. That was a different cult from the one from the Custodian Codex. Apparently, there's actually like 2 or 3 gene stealer cults on Terra currently. So,
good lord,
someone's really slacking on their security.
I think it might be 2 because it's the because in Shadow Throne it was the Pauper Princes, and in the 8th edition Custodian Codex it was the Worms of the Tendril.
And in Mars probably those I forgot like the name for the cock one.
The cog.
Sainted Cog?
Yeah, the Sainted Cog.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it
for
really
one
does
Mars.
seem like they need to step up security on Terra.
I mean, Terra is like already, the administratum is already as busy as it is. Also, second question from Boris. What will happen if Gabriel Logan was the first captain of the Sons of Horus?
If he was the first.
I think it's implied he's now. Well, he was dead in the current timeline, if I recall. But if he was first captain instead of Abaddon, given Logan's character, I can't imagine too much. Though I can imagine maybe like a few more influential Sons of Horus might followed him in remaining loyal. I imagine. But he was like the captain of like what it's like 7th company, wasn't it, or something like that?
I think it was the 7th.
He was still a captain in his own right, so I can't imagine that much changing. So I can't imagine it would change his personality because he was always like the level-headed one.
10th company.
Oh, 10th company. Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
But yeah, no. If I could imagine if he was the first company cap, there might be more of a kind of almost a loyalty schism, like you said, but like with maybe with Axelmund even. Because I feel like Axelmund was more loyal to Abaddon than he was to the rest of them.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah. If that was the case, then Axelmund would have had half his face chopped off.
Or Axelmund. Poor little Horus.
Alright. Another question from River Captain. Which component of the Imperium would make the biggest difference if its organization was better?
What component?
I'd go out on record and say the Administratum, purely on the basis that because what we've seen in Dawn of Fire and the Watch of the Throne series and in the Vaults of Terror series, there are literal departments of the Administratum that are deemed obsolete and defunct, yet they still have like millions of clerks working in them, even though there's no reason for them to exist. So if you get rid of those defunct branches and reallocate those resources to other areas that do need them, then I think that in itself would make a huge change to how things work, considering like, how long does it take to raise a guard regiment, for a crusade? It can take up to 10 years because of how slow the bureaucracy is and stuff like that. So get rid of the bureaucrats from the defunct parts of the administration that literally have no reason to exist anymore, and just reallocate the resources. Reallocate the resources elsewhere. I think that would make a huge change.
Yeah, I think so too. I definitely agree with Administratum. Like there's so much bloat in it. Yeah, and literally like just one clerk mistake can like change it from from I think 15 hours in the book that says like guardsman.
Oh yeah, 15 hours. Yeah,
that's literally the fault of an Administratum clerk, isn't it?
He miscounted. I was like, hey, did I say 8117 or did I say 8171? I can't remember. Fuck it. It's like we weren't even supposed to be here.
Yeah, so technically in that book, a guardsman like lifespan is like 15 hours in normal combat. Yeah. In that specific area, yeah, because it's like a big war, basically.
Yeah, because it was like literally the guardsman's very first battle. It was like you were meant to actually have like veterans going to this campaign. No, which just got send the newbies down.
Yep.
Whoops.
Because they were sent like pacifying a rebellion, like a normal rebellion.
And they got shoved into the middle of an orc war instead.
Yep. And I think like basically the normal, like the actual guardsmen that was supposed to be sent, like they were able to survive for like how many years was it? Like 10 or something. Basically they've been there for a long while.
Yeah. That also included a guy like, I know he wasn't actually a squad, but I like to think he was a squad because he was described as being a squat person, as in like short. But the way he acted and the fact he was a scrub would be, I just imagine that, yeah, that's a squat.
Yep.
That's my headcanon. That guy actually was a squat, which is why he's so grumpy and angry against the orcs, because he was actually a squat.
Yeah.
That's my headcanon.
There's a Warhammer horror story with Administratum that's good. I mean, honestly, like any story with where Administratum fuck ups is a horror story in and of itself.
I mean, you could argue any story set in Warhammer is a horror story in its own right, because it's Warhammer.
Yeah, true.
Did you ever read that book that had like a serial killer on an agri world, and the serial killer turned out to be a servo skull?
Okay, tell me about that part.
Is that one of those Warhammer crime novels?
No, it was Warhammer Horror. It's a book called The Bookkeeper's Skull. It's a really good book, but the whole twist was that the killer was a servo skull was kind of dumb but hilarious at the same time. Aside from that, the rest of the book was fantastic. It's honestly one of the best books I've read because it was so atmospheric. The pacing was perfect, but you just had that dumb twist. Oh, by the way, the killer's a servo skull that was made from the skull of a serial killer. Like,
okay, that is dumb. I thought it was just like, we gonna be like smarter, like, oh yeah, the servo skull got like programmed like kill people.
It was literally possessed by the spirit of a serial killer because it was a skull made from a serial killer.
Honestly, I
do
like
recommend
the
the book.
fact that
It's such a good book. It is
Yeah.
a really good book. It's just that one twist was kind of dumb, but aside from that, it was brilliant.
yeah. And honestly, I like the fact that like the whole idea with like machine spirits, like it's like super fast and loose. Like some people say, oh yeah, it's just like just like computer logic, and sometimes like, oh yeah, just like actual ghosts in the machine.
Oh my god, they have it on Audible. All right, I'm using my credit on that.
Oh, and I also want to point out as well, like the servo skull was also armed with a drill. It was drilling people. It had a drill and a buzzsaw.
Circle skulls.
But
it's horror.
I mean, why
Is
not?
True.
horror by its very definition is meant to be kind of silly in places.
yeah.
Like, that's part
I
of
mean,
the-
like,
was that-
just take Dracula for example. Dracula's a quintessential horror story, but it's about a man who drinks blood who can turn into a bat. That's kind of silly, but at the same time, it's horrific.
Mhm.
So horror and silliness kind of go hand in hand. But it's
Yeah.
all about the suspension of disbelief and accepting of what is in context and stuff like that. But yeah. I mean,
Also-
40K in general is quite silly. I mean, literally, it's like, genetically augmented child soldiers fight against Cockney football hooligan funguses,
Yeah. Also, Shinies asks, what's your favorite Warhammer horror crime? But I assume, is it that one, or like do you have any other?
It's my favorite one.
It's your favorite one.
Another one I
Oh.
do recommend
Mhm.
is a book called The Oubliette.
I think I heard that one.
Yeah, it's basically like this aristocrat on this feudal world, and she basically makes a deal with like what is initially implied to be like a demonic entity that's like been trapped inside like her mansion's like basement. Essentially, it's like a hidden chamber, in the middle of the maze and stuff like that. But it turns out the quote unquote demon is actually a Drukhari mandrake.
Oh god.
Oh god.
And okay, I'll say this now. A lot of the plot borrows heavily from Hellsing, if you've ever seen or read that. But basically, like, the Mandrake is Alucard, essentially.
Yes.
Oh, you're talking like the anime one. I was
The
thinking it was,
the
like,
manga, I assume.
I was thinking for a second like the Hugh Jackman movie.
No, not the Hugh Jackman movie.
The anime.
Ah, right.
Anime.
Yeah, or the
It
manga.
had a very different tone if it was based off the Hugh Jackman movie.
With weird mandolin music every now and again.
Mm.
But have you
Speaking of
seen
mandolin
that
music,
one though? Have you seen the Hugh Jackman Helsing?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
It's what's bringing me to my tangent in regards to the mandolin music. Have you ever seen one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's earliest movies, a film called Hercules in New York? Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, I did.
Where every fight scene has a mandolin playing in the background, completely inappropriate. Does not fit the tone. Like the scene where Arnold's fighting a bear, but the bear is a guy just wearing a bear costume, and it's so fake looking. And like, he's like punching this bear, but like they don't add. You know how in films they add sound effects like let's have simulate punches, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He's just literally just hitting this guy in a bear suit as hard as he can. So literally they zoom, like they got the camera right in close, and you just hear Arnold just going like on this guy in the bear suit, just wailing on him.
He's like, hold on, I didn't sign up for this.
I literally, if you type in Hercules in New York on YouTube, one of the first things that comes up is the bear fight.
Amazing.
For your reference later, I'll just post it in the chat for you.
Arnie just taking his shirt off, but still keeping the beanie on.
We got to show the physique somehow, haven't you?
I know, but he has to keep the beanie on.
Also, I forgot of how old Arnold is.
He's like 60 something now, isn't he?
No, he's 75, Mari.
What?
Yeah.
75?
Yeah. Arnold is 75.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that video, skip to 2:45. You actually hear the full blown punch. He just hits the bear. This actual full blown punch. And a 2:49 as well. And 2:49 as well.
Yeah. I'm just gonna like go copy paste it to like the chat the
slap.
Yeah.
Slaps him like full force.
That poor guy had to dress up as a bear and get the shit kicked out of him by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Probably not what he was expecting when he woke up that morning.
I hope he was adequately compensated, but hey.
Yeah, I mean, I will say he is now.
He is just remote. He is just ruthless at beating that bear.
And do you see what I mean in regards to how the mandolin music is inappropriate for the fight?
Everyone's just looking. It's just.
But I can't believe that movie is like from 69, like 1969. Like holy crap!
Yeah.
No, 1969 actually.
It's it says 1970 in the video, but yeah.
Yeah, it's actually like released in the US in 1969. I think like late 1969. So basically, it's 1970. Like who's counting?
Some regions it was 1969, other regions it was 1970. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would make sense for movies back then. Like I remember, like even like until late 2000 in Indonesia, we got movies at least like 1 to 2 months late.
Yeah.
At the quickest, so sometimes we get movies like 3 to 6 months late. I think that actually continues until like 2015 or something. Well, pre-Marvel at least, like some we get Marvel movies like a lot quicker than the rest of the world. Because of China. Yeah, because like we got the same time as China basically. That's like the one perk of like living in Indonesia if you're like into Marvel or Disney. Because you get the screening earlier.
Nice.
Also, from some graduate remembrancer. The other Remy. Oh my god, there's like so many people with Rem and Ren.
There's a lot of remembrancers.
Yes.
I thought most of Annihilated. That is fun.
He asked if he knows the frog prince and did they graduate from the same class. It's like the AC thing. The graduate remembrancer. You know, the one that
yeah,
that's,
I know.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, I didn't hear what your question was. Sorry, you cut out to me. Sorry.
If you know the tech phrase and did your character graduate from the same class?
I don't know what Forge World was he on.
I think Mars. Unfortunately.
Yeah, mine was Voss Prime. So.
Oh, you're Voss Prime. Oh.
Voss Prime.
So I'm like Talia Primaris, which is like basically a subdivision of Stages 8. Ren is Ryza. And so Remleiz is Voss Prime. So yeah, pretty much everyone is like got their own different favorite Force World.
Love my lifeblood of the Omnissiah.
I'm not Mechanicus, but I like Forge World Metallica just because of their name.
Mari, you really entered the Sandman.
Yep. Damn right.
I haven't played any Metallica song in years because like I used to be able to like when I took up bass, one of the first songs I learned to play was For Whom the Bell Tolls on the bass. You know, with that nice distorted intro, like that intro.
Mm-hmm.
And but I didn't have a distortion pedal at the time, so it sounds very different. Like you haven't got that nice crispy like to it. But it's surprisingly easy. Cliff Burton was a genius. Shame he's dead. But he was a genius.
Yeah. I'm not gonna pour one because I'm like living on like
pour one out for Cliff Burton.
I can't. I will just drink it, okay? I don't want to waste liquid. Liquid is expensive.
Hashtag pour one out for Cliff. There you go.
Yeah, pour one for Cliff. There we go. Also,
just specify it's Cliff Burton, it's Cliff Burton, not Cliff Richard. Two different guys. You don't want to know. That's a different issue. Anyway.
Also, I got a question from Marcus Givius. Do you think another Primarch will return for 10? Maybe a Chaos Primarch or a Loyalist?
I really hope they don't keep bringing back Primarchs, because the problem with bringing back Loyalist Primarchs is that after a while it'll get to the point of, instead of being a huge deal, it'll just get to the point of like, cool, who's next? Who's next? Who's next? And it's no longer a special event, because what made Guilliman's return such a huge deal was the fact that he was the lone Loyalist Primarch, and there's 6 traitor Primarchs out there.
Yeah.
Because remember, the traitor Primarchs, they never, in terms of the lore, they never went away. Because Magnus launched 2 attacks on Fenris. Mortarion had his feud with Kaldor Drago. Angron, wrecked stuff up during Armageddon 1. That kind of thing. So the fact that Gillen was the sole Loyalist Primarch around, that was a much more interesting plot device, purely because he was the underdog in this case, and you rarely get the opportunity to see a Primarch as an underdog, because Primarch definition are generally just completely OP. The whole anime power creep and all that crap.
Yeah.
So I can understand why they brought Lionel Johnson back, purely on the basis that out of all the Loyalist Primarchs, aside from Gilliman, he was the only one confirmed to be alive. So, bring him back. Okay, well, he was confirmed to be alive. May as well bring him back. Okay, fine, I can see that. But the problem is, if you keep bringing more Loyalist Primarchs back, it's no longer special. It's no longer a big deal. It just gets generic and becomes expected, down the line.
Yeah.
And the cynical part of me says oh, they're just doing it because Games Workshop's price stock is dropping, so they need to boost sales, kind of thing. But if I had to bring another Loyalist Primarch back, if I had to, I'd say Jagatai Khan, purely on the basis that he was alluded to in the novel Ashes of Prospero, because Logan Grimnar, Niall Stormcaller, when he was trying to find out the location of Lehman Russ, he had a few visions. Like he had a vision of like a sleeper entombed in rock, which was Lionel Johnson sleeping in the rock. Sleeper in rock. But another vision he had was of a white giant in a chariot of lightning.
Oh yeah,
which
that's
seems to
Chagatai.
imply like it sounds like Chagatai, because his white scars they had white armor and lightning bolt was a symbol. Chariot, he liked to ride bike, he liked to go vroom. So it's alluded to that's him. So if you are going to bring another Loyalist Prime back, bring back Chagatai purely on the basis that he's already been alluded to.
Yeah.
And I know some people will say, oh, but Korax was confirmed to still be alive. No, he bloody wasn't. He was confirmed to still be alive as of M31 because I asked Gav Thorpe when that story took place and he said late M31. There you go.
Oh, when he became the crows, I think.
Yeah, when he became the flock of ravens. Yeah, I did a video because a lot of people, because from what a few people said in my comments, apparently I was one of the few people turning around and said that the story isn't set in the present day, what everyone else said it was, but I was one of the few who wasn't. Because my main point of evidence for this was the presence of a character named Marduk. Because Marduk was the main protagonist of the Wordbearers trilogy, right? And in that short story, Marduk is referred to as being an acolyte. But at the end of the first Wordbearer novel, which is set, centuries before the 13th Black Crusade, Marduk becomes a Dark Apostle, which is obviously a much higher. It's like the highest rank Wordbearer can aspire to. So, and the Wordbearers, the Wordbearers don't demote you from Dark Apostle if you fuck up. If you fuck up enough to warrant a demotion, they would just sacrifice you to the Chaos Gods or to whatever demon they were trying to please that week, or whatever.
Yeah.
They wouldn't demote you back to Acolyte. They just kill you. It's like you failed us. You failed the Chaos Gods. Well, send your soul screaming to the warp. There you go. That was a little right. I apologize for that.
But in terms of Chaos Primarch,
Chaos Primarch. Well, if you have to bring the Chaos Primarch to the tabletop, it has to be focusing.
Yeah, it has to be Fulgrim.
It's got to be.
I will be pissed.
We've had Khorne, we've had Nurgle, we've had Tzeentch. Now we need Slash on board.
Yeah, I would be pissed if they didn't bring Fulgrim back, like just to bring like I don't know, like Perturabo or something. Like come on.
I have no issue with them
Ackerman Perturabo here.
So I've got no issue with them bringing Traitor Primarchs back to the tabletop purely because they never disappeared in terms of lore. The closest any of them disappeared was Lorgar locking himself away, in his Tower of Salt for 10,000 years, but apparently he's out and about now, so...
Oh, really?
Kurz is dead.
Say again, sorry?
Kurz is dead.
Yeah, Kurz is dead.
Kurz
is dead, Alfarius is dead, Horus is dead, but the others are still running around.
Yeah, because...
Oh my god, is question mark.
Fulgrim's doing Fulgrim things.
Yeah, I definitely hope it will be Fulgrim, honestly.
It makes sense for Fulgrim because, again, we have the other three major Chaos Gods, so you might as well make it the fourth.
Yeah.
I saw someone in the comments saying, is Alfarius really dead? Yes, he is. John French confirmed it. It's shown in the epilogue to the novel Praetorian of Dawn because Omicron actually he senses his brother die. And literally, the whole epilogue of that is basically him saying, like, he now realizes he is now truly alone. And what started off as a jest now became a mocking truth where he basically had to contact Horus saying, I am Alfarius. Because he wasn't Alfarius, but he had to become Alfarius to keep up the ruse.
Oh, no.
But the real Alfarius is, in fact, dead, and John French himself confirmed it.
So it's just Omicron left for the Alpha Legion then.
Yeah. Well, presuming that he didn't get killed by Gilliman, because in the Alpha Legion Index of Astartes, there was like a report of like Gilliman and quote unquote Alfarius fighting and like having them literally like an anime type sword fight where they just charge each other and one just falls down after a few seconds dead. Where Alfarius was killed, quote unquote, Alfarius. So it depends on whether that's true. If that's true, then both Alpha Legion Primarchs are dead.
But that could also be an imposter, Alfarius. So who knows? So who fucking knows?
I don't even think the writers know at this point because it's just so confusing even to them.
Yeah.
Also,
I would say is like if anyone claims to understand the Alpha Legion, they don't understand the Alpha Legion
Yeah.
Because the whole point of the Alpha Legion is that you're not meant to understand them. The whole point of them is that you're not meant to understand them, and anyone who says they do understand them is lying. Or
Also, I need to ask you this like deep question. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna ask it after the raid stream ends.
It's just people raiding into the stream.
Hello. Welcome to the Crusades. All right. So my big question is what's your video? How do you research your videos?
Sometimes, well, in regards to the videos, sometimes I'll see something interesting when I'm reading a book, and then I'll just trying to expand, try and find more information on that kind of thing. Like for example, when I did the video on the Morden Altar, I was actually reading through the first Iron Hand novel, not the novel Iron Hand, like the first in the Iron Hand series by David Gaiman. I should clarify.
Mm-hmm.
And I read about it started talking about the Morden Altar, and I'm just like, this sounds really interesting. I couldn't find anything else about it, so I was like, okay, so it was given to Ferrus Manus as a gift by one of his brothers. It doesn't say which one. Okay, who could give it to him? Logic would say Fulgrim, because Fulgrim and Ferrus Manus were close, and that would also explain why Fulgrim's name was erased. They would say who it was, because Fulgrim turned traitor. Yeah. So that would explain why we don't know the identity. It could also be one of the Lost Primarchs, because their records were erased from history, so it could have been a gift from one of his lost brothers. Or it could be, I don't know, maybe Vulcan, because Vulcan was also a smith. He'd give him, an anvil altar. Maybe it could work. I don't know. It's like it's probably Fulgrim. Could have been a Lost Primarch, but it was probably Vulcan.
Yeah, fair enough. but yeah. Also, how much time do you spend time on just reading the books?
Too much bloody time. There's so many books. I've actually got one sitting beside me right now. It's actually the successor anthology I've got sitting next to me right now. Because one of the scripts I need to research down the line is one on The Exorcist, and this has an Exorcist short story in it. And I just want to turn around and say the whole retcon turning The Exorcist into a generic Imperial for successor chapter, that was so fucking stupid. I'm sorry.
Wait, they were more in.
They all got retconned into being a generic Imperial for successor chapter.
Fuck off.
There was a whole Index Astartes article in White Dwarf, which completely contradicts their Index Astartes article from Imperial Armor. Because now it's a generic Imperial for successor chapter created during the 13th founding, even though originally they were a chapter founded in secret by both the Inquisition and the Ecclesiarchy for the purpose of demon hunting, which is more interesting. And the Deathwatch novels outright confirmed that they were a Grey Knight successor chapter. Because the Deathwatch Marine who was an exorcist, there's a little passage saying I forgot his name. I think his name is Roth or Ruth or something. Rauth. Let's call him Roth.
Yeah.
Roth was assigned to guard a psyker or something, and had a passage saying who better than an exorcist to watch over a psyker such as so and so? Even the Grey Knights, from whose chapter Roth's scene had been born, could hardly be better suited for the task.
Oh.
Now, to me, that's an outright confirmation. Roth's chapter from whose seed? No, the exorcist is but then they just changed it to no, they're actually a generic Imperial Fist successor chapter, and they got the name because their chapter master during one campaign got possessed, and he exorcised the demon out through sheer force of will. I'm sorry, but
that's so much pain.
It's so much more boring. But I think the reason why they did the retcon, I think the reason why this was, is because of the fact that the Grey Knights, they don't have any Primaris Marines, but the Exorcists do. And I think that's why they retcon. It's well, if it was because they can't have Primaris because they're Grey Knights, well, how do we explain the Exorcists having Primaris if they're Grey Knight successor chapter? And that's why they retconned it, I think. But the funny thing is,
it doesn't really even need to be retcon, in my opinion.
But the funny thing is, that short story where the Exorcist, where it says that the Exorcists are descended from the Grey Knights, they're still selling that short story on Black Library. And not only that, but that that 9th edition anthology, that Nexus and Other Short Stories, It's in that. So basically, as of 9th edition, it is still canon, according to that, because they're still selling it.
Well,
but it's like contradicted by the White Dwarf article.
Well, I think it's like, you know, the usual Black Library shenanigans, like everything is true, nothing is retcon technically.
Yeah, not everything is true, but not
everything is canon, nothing is true.
Yeah, everything is canon, nothing is true.
But the thing is, though, when they say everything is canon, everything is true, there is one book they have explicitly stated is not canon.
Yeah.
Inquisitor?
And that is no, it's Space Marine by Ian Watson. That is the only book they have explicitly stated as non-canon. Because on the Black Library website it says like the temptation was made to rewrite significant portions of the book to make it fit with the book, current canon, but we decided not to leave it as a snapshot of the time frame. Just don't try and fit it into the current timeline. So basically that's them saying this book's non-canon.
Yeah.
But funny enough,
the only book.
But funny enough, you mentioned the Inquisitor books. Inquisitor Jack Draco from those books, the Inquisitor books, like characters and events from those books are still technically canon, because from those books we got Mother Gullet, which is mentioned any time Achilles' assassin is mentioned in official lore, the story of Mother Gullet, and that was brought up in Inquisitor, so that alone, that's one time thing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, well, Inquisitor Jack Draco, the main character from those books, Jack Draco, he was name dropped in the latest Cal Jericho novel. He was explicitly name dropped. So he is a known figure in 40k. So the fact that those books are more canon than the idea of the Exorcist being a Grand Exorcist chapter, really makes you think.
Just
so
on the note though of the whole Exorcist being Dornian successors, I was just looking at some of the tinfoil hat kind of conversations about that. Wink, wink, Valrak, and he was talking about the Siege of Catonia, and it's just like, he's saying, and it's awfully convenient that the Exorcists also share the colours of those loyalist Thousand Sons from the Fifth Fellowship that helped them during the siege.
There's also red armored Raven Guard. There's also
true.
black armored White Scars. There are white armored Ultramarines in the Horus Heresy. You need to be a bit more.
I don't know if it's just Valrak's tinfoil hat.
In fairness, it's an interesting idea, but the problem with that is the rubric. You know, the spell that as a Karaman cast, to kill 1,000 Sons of the Flesh change.
It would have affected the Exorcists too.
Exactly, because in Ashes of Prospero, there's like a pocket dimension, like a pocket dimension maze exists out of time and out of space, and there's 1,000 Sons fighting space wars during the burning of Prospero. The burning of Prospero is still going on in that pocket dimension. But when those 1,000 Sons exit the pocket dimension, they immediately turn to dust. Which is quite funny because like Niall, I think it was Niall Stormcaller had his body possessed by 1,000 Sons sorcerer who didn't realize what had happened post heresy. And 1,000 Sons sorcerer in his mind was going, "What's going on? What the hell's happening?" And Niall was like, "Ha! All is dust. Ha!"
Oh,
wow, Niall, you're a dick.
Those space wolves are absolute dicks, to be honest.
Yeah.
Except for Logan Grimnar, because he's Santa.
Yeah.
He even has a sleigh.
I'm trying to remember. There was another.
Oh, I also need to ask this. Though. Like regarding Jack Draco.
Yes.
There is there's like Grim the Squad, who now is Grill the Tech Priest. Considering that Jack Drake, Votan does exist now, is he now still a squad or is he now a tech priest?
Funnily enough, the Grim Squad thing wasn't actually retconned in the Draco novels. It was actually in one of the short stories that was in the Deathwing anthology, I recall.
Ah.
But because instead, in the Inquisition War trilogy, there's like a new intro from an archivist, and they say like, as to the abhuman, that thread is cut. The Nids put pay to their race long ago. Basically saying like, yes, it's a squad, but Nids ate them.
Yeah, but now Votan does exist again.
It does, yeah.
Yeah,
But the thing is, the squads existed before the Votan because they were still mentioning like the 6th edition rulebook and stuff like that. Not to mention the fact they got models in Necromunda.
Yeah. So I'm still like curious. Does the Nid eating the squad still a thing, or is it now like what? That's just imperial propaganda.
It's still a thing. No, it's still a thing. It's basically an entire league was eaten by a hive fleet. And basically their Votan went insane because of it. So basically all the other leagues steer clear of that area because the Votan itself, the actual big supercomputer thingy, that basically went insane from the entire league being consumed. It went nuts.
Oh, so basically it still exists, but it's like just like a league.
It was a league, yeah. But the Imperium thought it was the entire race, but it was actually just a single league. It was a large league, but it was just a single league, yeah.
I don't have enough entries in the data bank of grudges for this one. It's just got instead of the book of grudges, it's the database.
Did you remember read the newest Cal Jericho? Because it had like all the Necromunda bounty hunters models from Forge World, like all the named characters.
Yeah.
And there's a bit where like you had Grendelson, the squad. Basically, like he's meeting up with another bounty hunter, shooting some bad guys, and the other bounty hunter's like, "Hello, Grendel, still short-tempered," and he's like, "Was that a joke about me height?" I was like, "Why'd you go over your head?"
What? Oh, thank God Thorgrim doesn't exist. Oh.
Also, I'm like curious. Like, I think you made a video back then about like the Skaven of 40k. It was like the actual like rat people. Are they still?
Oh, years and years and years ago, yeah.
Yeah, years and years
Species
ago.
X or whatever it was, yeah.
Yeah, like, do they still? I forgot where they came from actually.
It was from one of the game RPGs. I think it was like the Deathmatch RPG, Trader RPG. It's one of those two.
I was like
thinking
that maybe not like those sort of. There's those kinds of like rat-like people that live in the ash wastes in Necromunda.
Oh, the Ash Nomads. They're not really rats.
No, they're not rat people.
No, but there is if I remember right, there is another like species that lives out there. But
Ratskin.
Oh, do you mean the Ratskins?
Yeah, Ratskin. Ratskin is normal people.
No, they're just people who wear like. No, they're just. It's like Necromunda's version of like Native American tribes, basically.
Oh, right.
No, not ratlings, not ratlings, ratskins.
Ratskins. Yeah, ratskins.
So there would be sort of similar to Digger Knobs in a way then. Just humans that are pretending to be something else in a way.
Thing is, I want to point out the correct term is diggers, not digger knobs. A digger knob is the leader of a digger tribe.
Oh, so it's Digger Knob.
Yeah, the civilization are known as the diggers because they dig. They dig underground to escape the sons of Angelus. That's why they're called diggers, because they dig underground. That's why the orcs call them diggers. A digger knob is the leader of a digger mob.
Oh.
Right. So why did the community call it the digger knobs?
The reason why the community called it digger knobs is because of that one TTS short where you had like that Grey Knight going digger knobs.
Well, it's actually just wolf. It's just wolfing instead.
Yeah.
That makes my comprehension of Necromunda a lot different now, knowing that they're not actually rat people.
No, but there are lizard people in Necromunda.
Lizard people?
Yeah, they're literally called Scalies.
I'm not going to comment on that.
I go down that rabbit hole.
There are. Unconfirmed.
I am not going to. I'm not going to talk anything about that part on this. On this.
And I just want to point there are also shark people on or fish people on Necromunda as well.
I am not going to talk about the fish people on the stream. But this for today.
That is.
Ram, please.
Hang on, Mary, I'm just sending you a picture of the Necromunda lizard people. That's basically what they look like.
I will be sad if they don't look like okay. They don't look like Mark Zuckerberg, thankfully.
The old rat skin renegades box.
Yeah, I don't do Necromunda still have like the modern rat skin people?
They haven't had new models yet, but they are still mentioned in the lore. But they haven't had new models yet. I imagine we're going to get them down the line along with the Scavies and or Scavies, what you want to call them, the mutant gangs.
Yeah.
Because Ratskins, in the original Necromunda, which was during 2nd edition 40k, you could hire like Ratskin scouts for your gang as as mercenaries. But it wasn't until the Outlanders expansion where you could actually have full-on Ratskin gangs. And the Ratskins, or Ratskin Renegades as they were called, they're basically survivors of Ratskin settlements that have been slaughtered by Imperial hivers and basically just band together looking for revenge, essentially. That's why they're called Renegades, because they're actively fighting against the other members of the hive because they're on a quest for revenge because their settlements were slaughtered.
Yes, the usual.
Yeah, because as the Outlanders expansion, we also had what was it? We had the Scavies, we had the Ratskins, we had the Spirers, which are basically like the children of the noble houses, were given super powerful tech suits, like battle suits and stuff like that. Yeah, exosuits, yeah. And you also had the Redemptionists, who were basically your religious nut jobs that put flamethrowers on everything. Like even chainsaws and shotguns had flamethrowers.
Yes, the Cawdor on crack, as it were.
Yeah, literally. Because House Cawdor actually fell under the influence of the Redemptionist cult, which is why they're so religious currently, because the cult of Redemption has basically infiltrated it. But yeah,
the Cawdors are still more restrained than the Redemptionists are.
But yeah, literally, have chainsaws with flamethrowers built onto them, but shotguns with flamethrowers attached to them. Literally, it's like the definition of...
They did remake the Redemptionists, actually.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Yeah, they had
from one.
Yeah, and a bunch of new models. Yeah, it was part of the House of Faith expansion, if I recall.
Yeah.
I can't even go on the GW to look at them because the queue just kicked me out.
There you go.
No, I'm just opening from Lexicanum.
Yeah.
I've got a picture in the group chat for you.
Yeah.
They are nice models.
I do wonder though if we'll get Spirer as
I'm sure we will at some point.
Maybe not like actual gang, probably as characters, probably.
I mean, considering that we're getting, we've had the Ash Waste Nomads and the Enforcers, which are basically just like a new version of the Arbites, essentially. Local cops. I imagine we're going to get the Spirers and the Ratskins down the line.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that Necromunda has gone more Gorkamorka as of late with the whole, Ash Waste expansion with vehicles and stuff like that. So basically got a bit more Gorkamorka.
Yeah.
I love that game. Gorkamorka was my jam back in the day.
I feel though is that looking at the Ash Waste stuff that they have released so far, there is a lot that it does focus a lot more on bikes than it does other kinds of vehicles. It's more of a biker thing. I would I know, what is it?
I just want to respond to one guy in the chat saying not the same. I know they're not the same. That's why I said they're an equivalent and the local cops. rather
they're
than
local.
being
They're the mall cop, essentially.
the equivalent. Because back in the day, we had the Arbites as their own gang in like first and second edition Necromunda, but now it's just the
The kill team.
Palanites. The
I
Palanite
mean there's
Enforcers
a
now.
kill team for Arbites. For
That's true,
Arbites. Yeah. That I still haven't got because like they when I ordered they ran out, so I'm like waiting for like a month or so for the next batch. So yeah, Spain.
You know, I was like thinking, what's the? I'm trying to remember what the other gang is. The ones that are mostly that do a lot of the labor and mining on Necromunda. What were they called again?
Pretty much everyone, isn't it?
Orlok?
No, Orlok. That's the one. I think
okay.
they're like the only faction so far that has gotten something in Ash Waste that is like kind of fits the kind of style I was thinking of, like with the kind of Mad Max buggies. Like you need more buggies.
I was trying to pee again.
God, you need a better bladder.
What we
just
need
give the
now,
air.
because we have squat gangs in Necromunda, what we need now for the Ash Waste expansion, we need the return of the land train.
Yes, the land trains.
Because they are mentioned in the lore in the campaign books. On Necromunda, they do have land trains. The squats there, so that's an excuse to bring them back. Bring back our land trains.
I think
There'll probably something like £2,000, like £2,000 on Forge World. It's just a massive block of resin, like with a Talmanta.
that, or you just kit bash one with that cargo A ridge hauler thing.
Like you know the Talmanta, it's like
Oh yeah,
it's like a 12-kilogram solid block of resin.
and more times than not, it's warped to hell.
Yeah.
It's like I still remember seeing YouTubers like get it, and like the entire top section is just completely warped. I'm like, $2,000 down the drain, essentially.
I mean, look at the bright side. You know, giving Games Workshop's customer service, just phone them and say, "Yeah, my thing's warped. Can you send me another one?" Yeah, sure.
Just
Take a Talmanta for free. Just send another one for free. There you go.
Yeah, I think that's what he did, and then he turned the original one into terrain.
Yeah.
Oh.
And if you're going to spend $2,000 on it and it's going to come out busted, you know, you damn right I'm going to fall up for a replacement. It's like,
Oh, but now, like now that I'm looking at it, like was it the cargo 8 that they brought out for Necromunda?
Mm.
And then I look at other things like Horus Heresy, you know, like less of the lore and more game wise. The fact that when they brought out that index for Horus Heresy for militia, and they can take the cargo 8 as a transport option. You just stuff a bunch of like militia in the back of a shipping container.
Wasn't there like didn't the militia also allow rules for using beastmen?
I don't think they've added that yet in 2.0.
There was a DLC thing from Warhammer Community that actually allowed things like Abhuman Auxilia or stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know if that was for. I'm gonna look that up. Actually,
Yeah, they did add like Abhumans to Necromunda.
No, this is Horus Heresy.
Oh, Horus Heresy. Huh.
Oh, Abhuman Auxilia.
I'm pretty sure it was in the militia rules.
It might be in the militia rule.
I have no idea.
The one thing that stood out to me in those militia rules when they posted them literally was just the fact that the cargo 8 of it as a dedicated transport option for them. I'm like, and we're just gonna try and kit bash like a display model to show like a bunch of them hopping out of a container. Let me see, can I
wait, did orcs is on Necromunda? Are orcs on Necromunda? Like someone asked.
Oh, I know in the second edition rulebook, like the big compilation one, it did say that there were orcs still roaming the Underhives of Necromunda because during the Great Crusade, Necromunda was invaded by orcs, and the Imperial Fists came and drove the orcs off, and which led to the Imperial Fists establishing a garrison on Necromunda and turning it into a recruitment world. And there's also still some orcs in the Underhive because of their spore-based reproduction or something. No, spore-based reproduction came later because spore-based reproduction wasn't introduced until Gorka Morka. which was very late second edition.
Yeah.
But because they kept the law regarding orcs on Necromunda in second edition, and given the fact that they now retconned it to have orcs have a spore-based reproduction system, I imagine that because there were orcs, there's still some left purely because of the spores. Because the thing with orcs is like once orcs make planetfall, you don't get rid of them without burning the entire world.
Mm-hmm. And even
Which is
then
why
after burning it.
It's why Armageddon has such a massive feral orc population on Armageddon, because it was such a huge war zone for orcs that literally, like, because so many spores have been released, it's like literally just breeding like rabbits in the jungles.
Yes.
Which is why you have to have specialist regiments designed purely to hunt them down with the orc hunters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! All right, I hope you're all right there, Rin.
It's a bit spicy.
Ouch. So,
Got Breaking Bad.
Yeah, because in Canada and Appalachia there are like forest fires, I think.
The smog is blanketing most of America right now.
Yeah, the smoke's coming down from America. Or Canada, I mean, Jesus.
Canada and Appalachia, according to Ren.
Yeah, there have been some fires starting up out in the Blue Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn. Part of the dry season, or?
No.
I mean, like, I'm surprised this time around from like Canada and not from like California.
No,
unless California is also burning.
There's not enough trees left in California. I'm afraid they've all been replaced with apartments.
I have no idea.
Alright. So an orc gang isn't too far-fetched in Necromunda. I guess?
I mean, it's possible as far as orcs are concerned.
I mean, it's like, you know, it's like, if it's just your local community, yeah, it's like, it's fine. Like, just Goliath rule or something. So it's gonna be fine.
I do what I did with the commandos that they made for Kill Team.
Mm-hmm.
I painted them up wearing like desert style uniforms. And my headcanon is that like they're on a world and they're trying to sneak around the local guard. So they actually stole some uniforms from the guard. And they're like too small for them. So they're like going around in like almost fucking uniforms that look like they're designed for children.
Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, like, if like people like us, like Remleiz, so what's your opinion on like people making their own lore and stuff?
Well, I've got an entire series on my channel dedicated for homebrew, so
yes, I know. I'm trying to allude to that. I'm trying to make people know about that.
It was a kind of a hint, wink, wink sort of situation there.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, it's a hobby. At the end of the day, do what you like with it. To be honest, if you want to make your own lore up, feel free.
Yeah, exactly. I think like so like I had like my own custom Space Marine chapter, which are actually not Space Marine at all because they are a secret chapter made between between Asa Militarum and AdMech. They're trying to make like reuse some spare Astartes armor and just dumping like servitors in it, and basically they control them like Skitari, which like a thing. Yeah, and I call them the unending host because you know they're actually like dead people, like normal servitors that you control. I think basically I was playing too many Battlefield 2 on PS2. This is like this is like way back when, and AdMech didn't have a proper army rules.
Okay.
Just makes me just think of like the meme thoughts that people put out there about I think it's the Black Scorpions. Like the fact that they're like kind of very closely connected to the Mechanicus.
Yeah,
It's just
basically.
that one comic dub of them, and it's just a Vulcan meeting them, and he goes, "Daddy, Father, call. This weird man is talking to me."
But yeah, that's like my entire army of back when I was like actually playing Space Marine back in 4th edition and 5th edition. Good lord.
And you moved to Mechanicus.
Yeah, and after 8th edition, like, oh, there is an actual Mechanicus army now. Like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna play at Mech. I've been really loving at Mech since 4th edition. Basically, was like reading deeper into the lore and like found, oh, they're like this Adeptus Mechanicus thingy and their army of Skitari. with the design from John Blanche, which apparently, according to some tourists, he's apparently a Wokoid.
Oh god, people on Twitter calling John Blanche a Warhammer tourist. I'm like, he invented the art style.
Good lord, I don't understand like a lot of people, honestly.
It's
like
Twitter.
weird people on the internet. Yeah.
It's Twitter.
Remleiz, has there been an instance of an app human becoming Space Marine?
The closest we've ever had, from what I could find at the very least, the closest we ever had was with Typhus, or Callus Typhon of the Death Guard, purely on the basis that it's been established that while his mother was human, his father was an alien, one of the Barbaran overlords, who constantly stated to be Xenos. So he's the closest, but aside from that, I've never seen anything. And because the gene seed implantation process needs a very specific set of genetics, which is why even very healthy candidates who pass trials may not become Space Marines because their bodies might reject the gene seed and stuff like that. I don't see it ever being possible for an abhuman to become a Space Marine.
All right, yeah, the Space Shark, Charcaradon, Space Sharks. Their mutation is after the gene seed, right?
Same with all Space Marines. All Space Marine mutations come after gene seed implantation process. That's why they're called gene seed mutations.
Yeah.
It's because there's some very, very weird mutations. I mean, take a look at the black dragons, for instance. They start growing bony blades and horns and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got the flame falcons who just spontaneously combust.
It's like I know it sounds relatively mundane, but it's just like all the Raven Guard and their successors.
Also, I'm curious though.
Albinism.
Also, I'm curious. Is the elder? It's like the half elder librarian still a canon or? Yeah.
Ilian Assasay himself is canon, but he is a pure-blooded Eldari. He's a Farseer from Ulfway.
Oh, he's no longer Ultramarine anymore.
No.
So, Eldar Ulfran and Ilian Assasay are different characters. The half Eldar librarian from first edition named Ilian Assasay. Ilian Assasay himself still exists, but he is a Farseer from Ulfway. He is not Space Marine. He has worked with Guilliman because he was in the Dark Imperium books as part of Guilliman's council. But he is not in any way a Space Marine. He's just a regular Eldari Farseer.
Oh, okay. So basically, he's just like just swap around thingy.
Yeah, basically they just retconned him from being a hybrid just to being a normal Eldari.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Does half Eldar can exist?
That one half Eldar, there was Ael Wintor from the Horus Heresy series, but he wasn't a hybrid through normal means. He was genetically engineered by Malkador because he was basically reverse engineered from the DNA of a dead Eldari Malkador found in the Webway. So that doesn't really.
If I remember right, there was another half elder though, wasn't there? The Corsair Queen.
Yeah, she was implied. It was never explicitly stated, but she was heavily implied. It was like Kaja Solombar, I think her name was off the top of my head. I'm probably pronouncing it. But yeah, because she was implied to be half Eldar because she had very Eldar features like the shape of her eyes and the way she moved, and the fact she was like inhumanly fast. But aside from that, it was never explicitly stated.
So who knows? And yeah, good lord! Like whenever like people talk about half elder, like suddenly like that reminds me of that that 4chan thingy way back when.
Which one?
Taldir and the assassin.
Oh.
Yeah, Love Can Bloom. Oh my god, that's like.
Oh, the one that's actually canon.
Yeah, that is actually canon.
Oh my god.
That is actually canon.
The reason I say it's canon is because it was actually referenced in one of the Fantasy Flight RPG games.
Yeah,
Because there's for one, I think it was like Dark Heresy. I think it was.
I think so.
Because there's like a picture of a Vindicari assassin with a female Eldari Farseer, and had a quote from the assassin, but the assassin's name was the one from Love Can Bloom.
Yep.
So there you go, it's canon.
It's
Oh
canon.
my god.
I remember. Jesus Christ, that how many years ago was that?
Very long.
Very long ago. I think like it was around the time I was like getting into the internet side of things. Good lord, it was like 14, 15 years ago. Good lord. It was like
A long time.
a long time ago. Yeah. You didn't really get a proper ending. I mean, considering the internet back then, yeah, I mean, even like Boon Quest, like it still like takes quite a while to finish because like people get bored, losing interest and stuff. But yeah, I really wish like that there's like a lot of stuff from back then that could like translate well to like the modern canon. I think. Okay, so question from like, do you have like one of those like what's the most annoying quote unquote retcon that you have like to deal with your character?
What's the most annoying retcon? Say sorry.
Yeah. Like changes or like lore changes. I won't say like retcon.
I've already discussed it with the whole Exorcist Grey Knight Imperial Fisting. I've already gone into the great detail about
that. Do you have like another one?
That's the most annoying one for me.
Yeah, that's the most annoying one. Yeah.
I can't think of any other annoying ones off the top of my head. Aside from the whole situation with the Emperor's sword, because it was like first the Emperor had it, but turns out like Cole had it along with the armor. It turns out Gilliman had it all along, but turns out Gilliman got it from the Emperor. It turns out Gilliman had it along with him in stasis. Like, make it your fucking minds.
Yeah.
All the same author, by the way, I should point out.
Either that or the Emperor just had a pile of them sitting behind his throne.
Which makes it pointless.
I mean, kind of makes sense. Like swords weren't like the.
To be honest, the only one that made sense, the only idea that made sense was Gilliman seeing the Emperor and then getting the sword from the Emperor. Then that's the only that's the only one that makes sense. Because him having it all along in stasis, or like him having it before he went into stasis. Okay, why didn't he use the Emperor's sword against Demon Fulgrim then? Why did he just use a normal power sword? You dumb fuck.
Yeah.
You could have actually killed him then.
Although I need to ask, like, does the Emperor can actually speak with Gilliman, or is it like implied to be speaking with Gilliman? Like or like Gilliman like feeling that he's talking to the Emperor.
Yes and no. It's ambiguous, but it's like there's a scene where Gilliman and the Emperor are talking, but like it's done in the book like it's a full blown conversation between the two, but then you got Trajan Valoris is like, there's no comment. I didn't hear anything, and it's only been about 5 seconds. But apparently, Gilliman and the Emperor were talking for like a good couple of hours. But for Valoris, it was only a few seconds.
Huh.
Because
you can probably chalk it all up to the Emperor's psychic power bullshit.
Yeah.
Trajan's
Because like
just
for a
scratching his
while,
head.
like I think when that lore drop like was like happening, I was like, wait, did they just make TTS canon? I'm sorry, but like for a good minute there, like, oh shit, TTS is quote unquote canon, but not really, you know? Because the Emperor can speak again, technically. And then Gilliman like basically making the whole Imperial Truth 2.0.
Yeah, the Imperial Truth didn't exactly work well, did it? I mean, if it worked, the ecclesiarchy wouldn't be around.
I think like overall like I don't know. Like I think in the original like 8th edition novel book, I forgot what's called. Like basically before like they kind of like changed the whole narrative about primaries.
Plague War?
Yeah, Plague War, the first one. Like, good lord. I think we're like talking about it, like about like changing, because I think Gilliman was changing the head of ecclesiarchy on Terra. But I don't know if it's like it is like quote unquote canon now, or like it's been like it's changed now. I have no idea. Any comment, Rem?
It's there's a lot of confusing stuff going on, and
Yeah, it
seems
really
like
annoying.
they've tried to wrap up some plot threads, but they've inadvertently created a huge tangle that's just created just a bunch more questions, and not in a good way. Just like, or the resolutions were just absolutely stupid. Like that makes no fucking sense. Why do it this way? Why didn't you do it this way instead? Which would have actually made sense, but
yeah,
it's just
Also, I'm like
it can be very
curious.
frustrating at times.
Also, I'm like curious. Does Primaris Marine still actually exist in like 10 editions? Like it's like basically putting on the back burner now.
I mean, they still exist. I think it just got rid of the Primaris keyword.
Yeah, but like it's still weird. Like we had to deal with the whole primary situation because like I like the scalp, like you know, like oh, it's a cool new scalp. Like as much as I hate Space Marines, but yeah, it's like a weird minute there. Um, Primus Captain has a keyword or something. I have no idea. I haven't checked. I haven't checked the 10th edition. Are you looking forward for the new indexes RAM release?
I'm kind of indifferent, to be honest.
Honestly, I'm not really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm just kind of indifferent about the whole thing because everything's gotten so overhyped. I'm just a little indifferent to some of the things. It's like when Bolt Gun came out, and everyone was like so excited. I was initially looking forward to Bolt Gun, but because it got shoved down my throat so much, I'm just bored.
I think like Bolt Gun's like it's pretty good. So like it is competently made. It still has like some bugs here and there. Yeah, I can see that. For me, it's like, oh yeah, it's a good game. It's like a rarity in 40k scene. At least like these days. What else?
I do apologize, but I am gonna have to go shortly. I'm afraid.
Oh yeah. Don't worry. I'm like about to like. I was like thinking something like maybe like to get some time before like we finish the stream. But Yeah, I think that should be
I
it
do
for today.
apologize.
Oh no problem whatsoever. It's like
Okay,
we're usually
apologies for not talking too much.
it's fine, Ren. But honestly, we should like cut this off like 2 hours. It's like a bit over 2 hours. So yeah, I'm looking forward for. Uh, I don't know. I'm like really. I'm not really looking forward for my army for AdMac because what they've shown so far had been a pure pain. I think so. But yeah, that's fine. Uh, do it Imperial Fist too. I mean, I'm an equal hater. Don't worry about that. Anyway, thank you so much for coming to today's stream. I have been your host, Kommissar Azura. My co-host, Mari the Ganger. The other co-host, Renvalia. And our special guest for today, Remleiz from 40K Theories.
Thank you for having me. Again, I apologize for having to go so early.
No problem. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.